And we are officially in a game. Oh my goodness.
Yes, we've done it.
Finally. 30 minutes late. And as we talk about it, as we're talking about it, it looks like Aram is the one being shown as the ban.
They're listening to the stream.
They have to be at this point, right?
Yeah, that's so interesting to me though. If this is like a real, I mean, this is an exhibition, but it could very well be that VVV would ban Aram right away, and it kind of blows my mind because it's a ban you never see over in the East.
She's a menace. I'm telling you, as far as the NA scene is considered, she is an absolute menace. I gotta say, I think she's either picked or banned. I would say almost every game. Like, it's very rare that you don't see her picked or banned, especially in the PVL. Like, the times that she is actually able to get through to being picked, it is just a nightmare for the other team. NA hasn't really figured out how to counter that thing, and I think the other countries have kind of dealt with it long enough to where they kind of figured it out.
I wonder if either of these teams are going to ban or pick Victor, because he's only been out for a few days, but he's basically perma-ban status over in the East. I think that's, as far as ban priorities, it goes probably Elsu, Ignis, and then, or probably Ignis, Elsu, and Richter in that order. So looks like they are probably going to ban him out. So no new characters this time. Sorry, guys. Oh, no, they are going to pick him. They missed a ban. Interesting.
That is very interesting. So they do end up getting him. So looks like Ignis, Kriknak, and Elsu all banned on this red side. And they're showing Crest and Zephys.
Very aggressive style coming right away here for Knights. And this kind of gives away what they're going for. So I think VV will be able to kind of counter draft in a way. And they do go for the Mina. Just a really heavy front line right now, just to be able to deal with that heavy dive coming in here from Knights. And yep, there we go. Jinnar is likely going to see the pick. I saw him rifling through the mages. I'm like, nope, that's almost certainly that's not going to be it either. Like,
yep.
Found the Jinnar.
Yeah, him picking that up with the dive comp that they have there. I think that's a great pickup for this red team. Going back over to this blue side though, Natalia and Lindis, could there be like, if I was gonna say pick some of the best heroes that you can for a team, like this blue side is one in my book. As far as just looking at that, just on paper, it just looks so good.
Yeah, being able to sneak out the Lindis at the end there is just so good. And I think that maybe Knights could have picked up a Lindis just to play on the sideline, just so that VVV couldn't pick her up. Lindis, honestly, is first pick status most of the time in a lot of games that you'll see. So I think that this ends up being a great draft for VVV. The key here for Knights is that they need to get to that back line. And even so, a lot of times when you try to straight line rush a Natalia, you just get hit in the face by an Arcane Nova and you're melted. So
yes,
it's going to be difficult for them. But they do have the tools. The Zephys, the Crest, and the Jinnar are certainly some of the best ways that you can reach a backline.
Yeah, the thing that I do really like is I like the Annette picks. I've seen so many amazing plays by Annette. I think she's super still. As far as NA is considered, I think that people just really haven't got to utilize her. Even now, after she's been out for so long, people like to go more tanky route as far as the supports, which is totally understandable. But man, can she really completely dismantle a team all on her own with her skills?
I think the Valor series, people were really valuing her and picking her a lot, but I agree. I think she's a really good hero, perhaps underrated, but I don't like it for this particular comp. I think they just needed one more hero to get in there and help that dive, and I don't think she's going to be helping that much because she's really a protect the carries type. And I'm just looking at their comps here, and for VVV, they have a clear strategy. They have a heavy front line and a back line that's going to kill you. As far as Knights is concerned, it's just kind of like half dive, half back line, and they don't really complement each other, in my opinion, other than just providing distractics here for the Tell to get the damage in.
Yes, I completely agree with you. It's going to be... This dive comp is going to have to make sure that Tolanis stays alive, and that is going to be very difficult for this team if they are too busy diving for forward onto this blue team. So already, teams going out. I don't anticipate to see any kind of invade, but the blue team is making their way, just trying to scout out as best they can.
Yeah, as far as clear times are concerned, Lindis is a lot faster than the Zephys, so I'm actually surprised that they are going for this invade. I guess they're just kind of testing this out. This is, again, an exhibition match, so what better time than a scrim like this one? And it gets taken away here by Rude, so very well done by VVV. Successful invade, and not only that, they take away the buff while Knights was contesting it.
Yes.
And they're going to get greedy and go for the other buff. Wow.
VVV's definitely... flexing their muscles at this point, saying, you know what, no big deal. And it looks like Zephys is going to go down to the Lindis, who just picked up the blue, now picking up the red, farming out of their mind.
That's just mean. That is just mean. They just took their... you almost never see the entire opposing jungle just get taken, just stolen. Like, taking candy from a baby, VV says, oh my goodness.
And an important thing to note is that the entire blue team was there, but look at Tolanis was down on bottom, nowhere to be found. And I think that was maybe the big misplay. Ooh.
Well, it's one or the other, right? You either need to ignore them or you need to, right? And doing kind of half and half is not going to help your team out. Tell did get their farm in the bottom, but I think instead of trying to contest that, it would have been better for Knights to actually just counter invade and just kind of steal each other's red buff.
I agree. And look at this rotation down on bottom. Tolanis is going to be in some... Oh, seeing it coming. Ends up flickering away, wanting to play as safe as possible. Mina now chasing after Zephys, but not able to connect with this stun. They're going for the dragon immediately after it spawns. And this is the VVV that we are known to love. They are so objective heavy. And look at this. Mina chasing them down. Diving the tower.
I don't think that was necessary.
Yeah.
They're going to get this abyssal anyway. I don't think it was necessary at all for her to be diving under tower like that. Seems like an unnecessary thing for her to do, but maybe just flexing those muscles, like, you know, we'll give you a kill and let you back into this one.
Yeah, very much.
The pity kill. Oh!
Ninja.
Good night.
Ninja landed an awesome stun, followed up with the two-hitter quitter.
The funny thing was, he didn't even like land it on impact. It was a zoning Arcane Nova, and Tell, Goofy with nowhere to go, just had to run right into it. Great positioning.
Looks like Lindis was able to pick that kill up on Jannar. Jannar just very out of position. No team around. Zephys was close by, but had to get out of that situation.
And one combination that I haven't talked about yet, but which is very potent, is the combination of this Mina and then Natalia. Natalia, if she has a ton of damage, but you need to land her abilities. And you know who can help land those abilities for you is a Mina. Hook them right in, get that Arcane Nova, and they are dead. Speaking of dead, in goes Richter, down goes Zephys. Oh, nice re-engage. Okay, that is what Knights have been trying to do. They get the re-engage, they get the kill onto Ninja and Wizard now. So good job by Knights pushing back here. They're still behind in gold, but very well done overall. But Rude isn't done. He says goodbye lane.
Yep, Rude picking up the double kill, able to clean up, and Richter was able to get out of that situation too. He really kind of trailed him around, and now he's back in lane with like no big deal, and they're initiating onto Crash. Crash does not have his ult. They're going to be able to chase him down, but I don't think they're going to be able to kill him, but Richter tries. Just not enough, and ends up dying. So big misplays. Definitely, you can tell that VVV is flexing their muscles just a little hard right now.
I think McFly is trying to get a better feel for the Richter. You can tell he isn't super experienced, which will, you know, we'll cut him some slack here because the hero hasn't been out very long. But Yeah, he could have used his invulnerability on his second ability there in order to get out of there and stay alive, but kind of mistimed it. But
Yep.
yeah, good night Sig. Or
Yeah.
good night Lane, I should say.
Ninja was able to land a great stun again. And this Ninja and Mina combo, just like you were saying, is just so potent. If Mina runs in first and foremost and
Good steal.
ATF almost paid the price there, but was able to get that dragon. So yeah, great job on his part.
Well, veniVidivici still is owning this game. A little bit sloppy in certain areas. It's understandable because they're just trying to test stuff and seeing what they can do with this particular comp. Certainly, this is a very Thailand/Vietnam comp, in my opinion, here for veniVidivici. Just looking at the Natalia by itself, speaks a lot. But oh my goodness, Dark Dominion into those arcane spirits nearly get Vadaron, but he's very tanky.
Look at that. McFly going after a net, was able to connect, picking up the kill. It is 9-4 right now. It's only 2k lead, so Red does have some time to come back. I think that dragon steal definitely is keeping them in this game, but they're going to need to get these team fights under control. Blue is just running lane to lane, cleaning up everything in their way.
Yeah, they just have that. They have the ability to work in small 2 and 3 man units, right, and still pick up kills. Where I feel like Knights needs to constantly be together as a large group, or else it's not going to work. They need to have the full complement of Jinnar and Kresh and Zephys in there.
Yeah, I completely agree. And Kresh throwing out his ult really had zero impact, but Sig just gets completely runs into the wrong bush and pays the price. And Zephys, with his passive, was able to stay alive for quite a while, but inevitably ends up dying.
Well, this is exactly what veniVidivici have been trying to do, right? They have the early game in Natalia. She's always going to be burst. Oh my god. Dive onto the tower here. Gopher goes down. So too will the tower. And veniVidivici says it's time to stop playing games. But like I mentioned, Natalia, early game damage, she's going to have damage the entire game, to be honest. But early game, she just blows people up. And then you scale into the damage on Telenos, or excuse me, not Telenos, Lindis. And now Lindis is shredding people apart. So, you know, right when Knights thought they were getting back into the game, it's like, nope, now you have to face a buffed up Lindis.
And a thing to kind of note, too, is that Tulanis is actually build Beast first, which I have not seen. I don't know if that's a current meta or anything like that, but I don't know. I mean, maybe she thought that she was going to be going up against the Malik and needing that life steal, but already we have an initiation up on top, and it's a 3-on-3, but just like that, pops 2 of the heroes. Zephys and Mina go down. Lindis cleaning up and already in hot pursuit of Kresh, but ends up backing out.
Yeah, you really can't fight within that Jinnar exuberance. It's just something that you can't deal with. He can shred you, and he has lots of damage resistance, and it increases with the number of heroes that are around him. The problem is, once that ends, he goes from Superman to Clark Kent again, and then Rude says, "You're mine."
It's a great analogy for sure. But yeah, as far as the teams and everything like that, it is what, 3 towers for this blue team, 1 tower for this red, 2 dragons for blue, and the gold difference is just scaling up. Kresh does have his ult here, but it is 4 blue heroes, and it is just no way he's going to get out of this situation. Red is trying to rotate over in that direction, but it's just going to be too little too late. They're going to run into Mina, who has a Natalia right behind, but red team ends up backing off.
Well, the funny thing about that is that losing the ult is almost worse than losing the hero, right? Because now even when he comes back, he's going to have to build it up with more auto attacks. And that's just going to mean that Knights can't really take a fight for even longer as the Dark Slayer goes down.
Yeah, it's very true. Building up that ult does take some time, and not having it is very massive. Ninja trying his best to land the stun and the ult and hitting that combo. That could have been a double kill, but just wasn't able to land it. And this is what we're talking about. Kresh is in a great position to throw out the ult, try to initiate. There's 5 red red team members here, but they're just not able to. And you see Zephys running in. Mina now very low, but Talana's taking the blunt of the damage to that Linda's.
Honestly, a bit of an error in positioning here from Rude. He was all the way out front, and if Knights could have gotten together and just combined to kill her, she was just floating herself out in the open there, and it could have been a disaster, but unfortunately Knights just didn't have the coordination, weren't able to kill her. They got the death from above, but that's about it. She didn't die, unfortunately.
Looks like they're maybe trying to initiate on this top, but look at Blue down on bottom, taking out a net.
Oh my goodness. Just gets immediately wiped out. But yeah, over on top, oh, nice double kill here from, that is the combo that they're looking for, from the Crushed and the Jinnar to take them out, and that is the damage that you can deal when you get in like that.
Yeah, I gotta say, that combo worked out really well. Jinnar and Kresh throwing out all that, and I believe Talana's was over in mid. So yeah, it was just the two of them versus two, and they were able to come out ahead.
So that's what they need to do, right? That's the strength of their combination. Looks like Crush is coming up on this. Can he steal it? No, he's going to go ahead and run away, and this will go to veniVidivici. So one more major objective to their side. Rude will pick up the Dark Blessing, and they are up 10,000 gold. They are up 8 towers to 3. They just need to finish this off. And Knights, what they need to do is just get that massive, just the wombo combo, right? They need to get in with that Metamorphosis, get in with that Exuberance, and hope they can use that to wipe the opposing team. But they need a group for that, and yeah, it's going to be hard to do.
And the big thing that they need to do is take out Lindis. That comeback gold that they would get for her would be such a swing in money that I think is something that they can't deny. Not to, just 11-0 right now. Oh, but just gets completely caught out, and Jordan jumping in, able to land it and finish him off. You're going to be a man down, and this is going to be bad. Crash landing an amazing ult. Jinnar coming in with that ult and is just not able to finish off the right target, but you can see Crash going full force into Rune.
Yeah, he was trying to just clear the way, but then they saw an opportunity to potentially go in. Fortunately, everyone got a little split up. You saw Koresh try to solo down the Lindis, and that just didn't work for the team. Looks like they have waves on the core here, so this is probably going to be game 4. veniVidivici, well played from them in game 1.
Yeah, man, Lindis was just. I can expect to see a ban on the Lindis this next game. I gotta say.
Well, if not a ban, then at least pick her away from the opposing team. I mean, Lindis and Telenos, they're not very different in lane. You might as well just pick the Lindis and prevent them from having a jungle Lindis, because I think that's a little bit unacceptable to allow Lindis to be the last pick and let that through. So yeah, either ban it or you got to take it yourself.
So Lindis doing 40% of the damage for their team, and Jinnar on the opposite side doing 36%. So both two powerhouses in their own rights, but just the teams weren't able to follow up on the red side to get to that Lindis. That was just so difficult.
Looks like my game just froze, so I might have to restart my execution.
Yeah, no problem.
But yeah, that was just disgusting. 40% damage from Rude. And the funny thing was, it was just, she was able to free farm that entire time because they were getting picks from Natalia, from other members in their team. And I think just a lack of execution from Knights. They need a better game plan in the early game. If they're going to contest, they need to contest with everyone. If they're not going to contest, then they need to counter invade on the other side. They can't have this half and half thing where some people are there and some people are not.
Yeah, I completely agree. You saw that so many times where, especially in that mid game, where Blue was just running absolutely everywhere, and they just didn't know what objectives to try to contest and which ones to just kind of give up on, and it was just a scramble for that red team. I think that if they maybe would have tried to save some of those fights and maybe not take certain other ones. I think that it would have paid out a little bit better in the mid game, but the Talanis really needed to come online a little sooner, but just wasn't able to, just due to the fact that they were all over her through most of that game.
Yeah, and the nice thing about having an Natalia on your team is, and I was thinking, like, why did they invade when it's just such a risk, right? They have the Linda, she's going to farm faster than the Zephys. But if you look at it, if you have a Natalia, it just makes it so difficult because you're fighting in these little crammed spaces, these small corridors. And that is where Natalia is amazing, because if she can have a good chance of landing her Arcane Spirits, then you're going to die.
Yes, absolutely. All right. So we're just waiting on the next set of games right now. I'm just taking a look. And while we're waiting for that, I'm curious if we're going to see... if we're going to see the next set of teams, or if they're going to run it back, or if we're actually going to see another a separate team. We do have, what, 15 minutes before another game? I don't know if that's actually worth kind of... might as well wait at this point.
Well, no offense to the opposing team, but I think veniVidivici could probably take it in 15 minutes. So I think we're getting into it.
All right. So while they're figuring out everything, looks like we got a game. We'll go from there. Yep. All right. Lobby ID. Perfect.
WSS versus veniVidivici. Who's WSS?
Just one more exhibition. Okay. Perfect.
So who do we have here?
This is... WSS. I know it. And I can't think of it off the top of my head. Let me look it up.
Western Superstars. I'm just kidding.
Hey.
No. Just coming up with something. Why so serious? There we go.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I should have known that. All right, so they are all showing up. So good. I gotta say, dominating performance from veniVidivici in that first game. Loved everything about it.
Well, Pride Stark is going to have to, even though it's an exhibition match, I think Pride Stark has to look at that and be a little bit scared. But
yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the kind of games that are hard to watch if you're gonna have to play them soon, because you really don't get a feel of the game, even if you're commentating it or even watching it, unless you're actually in the game. We try to do our best, but man, that's a pretty good display from that team. All right, so we're waiting on some more from, looks like one veniVidivici and, 3 of the other team. But yeah, where can people find you, man?
Oh, at D2HS. Looks like chat is getting mad at me for saying that veniVidivici is good for beating a random team. Sorry.
But yeah, if you guys should go drop him a follow on that Twitter. I will post a link if I'm allowed to post it.
The Twitter, like the Facebook.
Yep.
Do you remember
Oops.
back? How
Mhm.
earlier were you on Facebook? Because it
Oh,
used to be way
long
different.
long time ago, when you had to have an .edu account.
Yep, me too.
Mm-hmm.
Back in '04, I want to say. So
And you know how much I use it now? Not that much. Not that
yeah,
much. Honestly, if it wasn't for the calendar within Facebook, I don't know if I'd use it. The event calendar,
that's
you
all I
know?
need it for.
That's
Mm.
I mean, honestly.
Well, it's just funny thinking back to what it was because I don't know if you know this, but basically the Facebook wall, the timeline, it used to be just a wall, and you could actually like erase other people's messages and change them, so
Mhm.
like it was an actual whiteboard,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and it was strange to say the least.
And then back in the day, you didn't have what's it called? All news articles and stuff like that. You couldn't really link. It would just be the URL. So like posting links was just kind of like, who is this guy? Now you go on there and it's just all news articles, and it's just so weird. The age range really shifted from what it used to be to now a much older generation.
Actually, at the very beginning, they didn't even have pictures. Like you couldn't put photos up other than your profile pic.
Mm-hmm.
That was wild.
All right, so we're still looking for the one more.
We need one more player from each team. We will be doing one more abyssal, or not abyssal, one more exhibition match.
You said it now. You said it.
Now we have to play abyssal once you say it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we will be playing one more exhibition. Then we'll get to the actual match that matters, counts in the books forever and ever.
Very true.
Will it be here or in the Lem stream? They will be on both. Both will be streaming.
Yeah, so I got some filler stuff for you guys. So let me go and check this out. So, hang on one moment.
Hold on, while you're fillering, I need to use the restroom. Be right back.
Yeah, go for it. So all subs will help the league, by the way. So if you guys aren't subbed and you guys do like this kind of PVL content, make sure to drop that sub. Also, it will help all subs to the main channel get subbed to the Latin American one as well. Weekly skin giveaways to a random sub. And what else? What else? What else? What else? I'm trying to remember all the other stuff. Oh, make sure to join the Discord. It's a pretty happening spot for all things PVL. Believe that the command is this ? No, it's not. Discord's down below in the title. Can I post links? Let's find out. Should we try it? Hey, there it is. So that is the PVL Discord. Make sure to drop in. Also, where's your money at, Goof? Which one did you want, buddy? You gotta let me know. Did you want a gift card to what? Amazon, iTunes, Google, Pizza Hut, Papa John's, Domino's? I'm gonna jump you in Finland. I'll be in Finland, boys. By the way, 100% legit. If you guys aren't aware, I'll be in Finland as of this weekend. I'll be playing the. I'll be going to see the Supercell headquarters, hanging out, doing all that fun stuff. So if you don't follow me, make sure to It's going to be awesome. I'm going to live stream the event. Long hair, don't care as far as viewers and stuff like that. Should be pretty fun. The time difference is about 8 hours, so if you do see me streaming, it's going to be late at night, which will be like early for you guys. I sent you a skin request in-game. Okay, Molo. Okay, Molo. I see you. Let me get that fulfilled for you, buddy. Give me a minute. I do see it. Thank you. I will go ahead and update this. Give me just one moment. Molo, where you at? How long ago did you win this, bud? Oh, you were the last one. The last one, Rain. Okay, got it, bud. All right, done. Emily, yours. Done. Trip, you said you won. Trip is KDR. He got the 1600. I accidentally denied it. Whoops. Shit. Damn. Trip, if you're here, KDR, where you at? Messed up. By the way, so the other people that do still have skins, if you guys are in chat, Dark Aspect, KDR, Orange, Guy in Orange, you have 500 vouchers. Vix Logit, you have 1,000. Who else do I got? I'm looking. Zorro, 1,000 vouchers. Boyster, 500 vouchers. Albert, 1,000 vouchers. Zorro, another 1,000 vouchers. Tiny Awkward, 1,000 vouchers. GB, 1,000 vouchers. Pro Nick, 1,000. Looks like Geo, you have 1,000. Colleen, you have 1,000. Dark Gaming, you have 1,000. Lasagna has some as well. Lasagna has 2,000 vouchers. And other than that, that's it. So, no big deal. Just breaking my bank. I see you guys. Rain living his best life. You know, I'm gonna try, buddy. But yeah, request if you can, Molo, and I'll fulfill it, bud. I meant to cancel your other one, and I accidentally canceled that one, so I apologize. But yeah, definitely make sure to redo that.
Looks like we're ready to go.
Oh, are we?
For our next game. Yep.
Oh, I'm not in there.
It is. Oh, I shouldn't say it. No. It's in Discord.
Got it. Sorry. 288. And it's fine because I'll be there before chat knows.
Chat frantically trying to put in the number. We got it. Oh no.
I thought I heard you say Naughty Cash, right? No, Naughty Cash, you don't have a giveaway. I'm sorry, bud. Was not. But it looks like the game is starting, boys, so we're going to go ahead and switch over to that. Thanks for being patient. Really appreciate it.
So is this a full WSS roster, or do we have replacements?
It looks like we do have a few replacements.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I'm assuming the other two are the replacements for sure.
All right, so starting off, a ban on Lindis, which is interesting for VV because they are picking first.
Yeah, maybe they know that they got their one game in with Lindis. They want to switch it up, and they don't want the enemy team to have it. And it's kind of interesting to see where their head's at because they know that how powerful she is. So they end up are saying, you know what, we don't want anyone else. We don't want to deal with it. So it's kind of cool to see.
Yeah, you see that surprisingly often. The team that was very successful with one hero, they banned it the very next game. Usually it's because the pick ban order was flipped, but in this particular case, VV just trying something new.
Crickneck, I gotta say, is a must either pick or ban. How is it on your side? Do you feel the exact same?
He's dropped a little bit just because there are teams out there who are just ridiculously good and they've concocted strategies to kill him. But outside of those teams, yeah, he's still very good. It requires lots of great individual and team coordination in order to shut down the Crickneck. But when you do, he feels very subpar. But it involves like Alistair and, you know, Annette, or not Annette, excuse me, either Annette, Pure, or Alice. And then it's weird because you have an entirely squishy team, but it works because you have all the CC in the world. So, in any case, Team
Speaking
Richter
of
this
Annette,
game.
Speaking
Yeah,
of
there you go.
Annette too, on that red side. So, yeah. So if I remember right, the last time that I saw Snow, he did some incredible play, and I'm trying to recall what exactly it was. But I'm gonna look through some of my clips and see if I can find it. But Omen, how do you feel about Omen up on top lane? I think he's great in a lane. I think he very much lacks once he comes out to fight, but he's definitely viable.
What is okay? I was getting confused with the Zenio pick for a moment. I was thinking, are they gonna jump? So, because they already had 2 side laners and their support in, so looks like VV. They're cycling through heroes. I would really like the Violet here. It looks like they're heading towards that. But that said, L'Oreal and Violet don't really combo all that well. Okay, as far as being a better combination, Slims and L'Oreal is better, but as far as just in general, I would prefer Violet, but this is fine as well.
Yeah. So Superman with a disrupt, Thane with a kind of a disrupt, or like I would say a moving like kind of ability. 2 of those moving abilities with the Slim's kind of spear that he can actually throw and stun. I think they have a lot of disrupt is basically what I'm trying to say. With those just with those 2 characters on top of that with Slims with that stun. And if you look over on the red side, I mean they just look like they're going for damage. I do like the 3 or each actually 4 stuns if you count 5 if you count Omen right there. Just having those stuns out there is going to be very beneficial for this red team.
Right, especially that's way to slow Superman down. I'm actually curious about the lane because I imagine that Superman's going to go to the Abyssal side, whereas Richter's going to go to the Darkslayer lane side in order to deal with the Omen, because Omen is kind of a known Superman killer, though sometimes it doesn't work out in that matchup. But yeah, we'll probably see Superman in the bottom side of our map. The Richter Omen matchup is interesting because if they get in the protracted duel, then Omen will win, but Richter can just burst him down and kill him if it comes down to that.
The thing that I do like on this red side is, like I was saying with the stuns, so if Liliana gets a good stun, that's going to guarantee Annette being able to land hers if she's in the right position. Also, Talanis being able to line up hers. Or in vice versa, if Zephys jumps in, lands his, and then they have a really good lockdown. They are squishy as can be, and I think that the tankier team usually in NA usually has a higher chance of winning just by a track record that NA has. But man, if they can pull that off in the ideal situation, I think that they're going to succeed.
The thing is, I'm fine with having a squishy team, but it needs to be full squish, if that makes any sense, right? You need to have like the double marksman.
You need to have the damage output.
Just the damage output. Whereas I don't see the reasoning behind the Zephys pick, because he's going to go in there and he's not going to have another tank with him, right? Because usually Omen's not going to be in the fight. So therefore, Zephys is going to go in, and as tanky as he is, probably going to get bursted down before anything can really happen for him, right? Or either that, or he goes in and then they just ignore him and go for the backline because there's not enough real CC from like a frontliner to stop them from going in, because they're covering for themselves, and that's always an issue.
Yep. A thing to note, Thang did a great job being able to scout out the jungle to see where the jungler was actually starting, which is important information. Even though that he didn't invade or do anything, you can see Thane using this site to really help his team kind of set up some plays. Even though he's going to take a little bit of damage here, it's still getting the important information out there and completely worth it, I would say. The red team, Snow, having some issues being able to set up anything. You can see him trying to support Joker in by the blue buff, making sure that no one gets in and gets a good last hit in on that blue buff.
I just love Thane walking right past Annette, being like, "Yeah, you can't hurt me, sorry."
Yeah.
And Snow tried to get those auto attacks in. Didn't really do a whole lot in the end. Wizard's regen is way too high for that. Does put a stun on him for this Seagull. They do pick it up. And that's some decent vision for them as this Abyssal's coming up in 5 seconds.
That's what I was going to say. veniVidivi's pretty known for trying to make plays and get these dragons immediately. So the fact that they actually didn't get a gank this early in the game is usually about when everything starts to go well for them. So them not getting it this early and now Red actually trying to contest this is pretty huge.
Who's going to get it in the end? Oh, great pushback by the Thane that actually secured them the Abyssal. He looks like he's going to go down for it, but they re-engage onto Joker. Looks like Superman does have his ult back up in order to get that damage in. He's going to have to run away, though. Nearly dies. Biggie Shot goes after him. Unpredictable comes out here for Liliana as she's able to get back up, but meanwhile, on the other side, there's a little bit of dive here. Ninja popping his ult on the other side of the map, but he has to go run away because Faker is hunting him down. And will he really get away? Flickers forward for it, but misses the extra shot because of the blink, the invulnerability there. Faker is going to take him out in the end, but will it cost him his life? Yes, it looks like it will, but that means that Richter had to leave his post at the top, but Superman picks it up.
So, a thing that I don't know if you actually caught or not, Liliana jumped in under the tower trying to finish off Slims, but just wasn't able to. Got Slims down to just a sliver of life. And Slims actually ends up picking that kill up.
Yeah, so 3v1, very well done here for the side of veniVidivici. I'm actually surprised. Wait, they never lost Thane in that fight?
Yeah.
Wow, that is. He was taking damage from everyone, but I guess that's what Thane does, right? He's got that big booty. He gets in there and just doesn't die. And the funny thing, he is able to bait the opponent into attacking him because his passive, as you all know, which got buffed recently, he heals over 4 seconds instead of 6, which it used to be, and he gets 25% damage resistance. So it's so tempting to try to kill him off, but you're actually better off attacking a marksman with full health because he's more likely to die in that situation.
Yeah, absolutely. So down on bottom, and Talana's completely caught out. Superman came in back behind and was able to get it. Oh, a great stun by Liliana. Came in and was able to stun 2 of them, taking out the Superman. But Thane and L'Oreal and Slims all there, and now Joker is in a pickle, and it doesn't look like he's gonna be able to get out of this situation. And he tried his best to get out, but it is all for naught. The dragon is spawned. It looks like they're going to attempt to push this tower with the creep waves that are here and then go for that dragon, which is exactly what they should be doing.
Yeah, just picking up the map control first in order to take down this tower. It was a great initial engage by our red side, but unfortunately overextended afterward. It was a really good push from back into the tower, and then unfortunately trying to save his team was Snow. He used the hurricane wall, but ended up just causing his own death there.
So some to kind of important note is that Omen has been up top this entire time, but really, if you look at the damage on the tower, is very minimal to where he should be at this point. veniVidivici doing a great job making sure that they're rotating back up top to kind of deal with that. So I gotta say that's some pretty good kudos to them.
Yeah, good communication, because every time Richter rotates around to help with the fight, then you have Superman going back up to pick up the slack up top. And in general, Richter, he can clear the wave pretty quickly. He can actually get damage onto Omen as well. And Omen really shouldn't be joining the fight as Snow does go down. In goes McFly with that ultimate, tries to get damage on. Then he does manage to get away. So too does McFly, though. They're still trying to be aggressive onto this tower and just really putting the hurt onto red side.
Yeah, so right now, blue, 8-2 kills. 2 dragons, 1 tower, and they are starting their normal runaway with it at this moment. But I gotta say, red is looking good. Like I'm not mad about the plays that they're doing. The rotations maybe need to be a little bit better, especially right now. We need to see a full-on press up on top. or see them start to take some objectives, and you can just see that they're very much staying in lane at this point. And I think Zeph is doing his best to try to get the red buff since the dragon isn't up. But I'd like to see maybe another lane pushed, but again, veniVidivici doing such a great job making sure that the lanes are pushed so that they can't get away with, or they aren't losing their objectives.
Yeah, and that's a sign of a good team, right? When it feels like you're playing 5v6 because they're clearing their waves and they're out-rotating you and getting fixed because of it. Ninja tries to go and gets a lot of damage pushed on her, has to fall for ult in order to make sure that she has her resets up. And resets she is getting, even gets the essence of the windshield to get back into the fight. No one goes down, excuse me, Benny goes down here for the red side, but other than that, not many heroes. But in goes Joker again, trying to re-engage, but that wasn't the best idea in the world.
And Ninja, or Faker, just wasn't able to kill Ninja. He thought he had him dead to rights and wasn't able to get there. He was at full life, and Superman and Thane came in and was able to, I think, stop him. Or Richter, I'm sorry.
Just miscalculations. Like as you said, Faker tries to go in and get the kill, doesn't end up succeeding. Same thing goes over for Joker. It seems like they need to be playing more as a team and having better shot calls as far as their focus fire is concerned, because there were multiple members of veniVidivici that were extremely low.
Yeah, they really dove in on that that Liliana Liliana dove in on the L'Oreal right at the beginning of that fight and just wasn't able to get her down, which then just caused a domino effect for the rest of the team.
It looks like veniVidivici is really starting to run away with the game now on all fronts, right? They have three of their opposing towers down. They're up a good 6,000 gold and really putting their stamp on the game at this point.
Solana's actually wasting her ult right there, which she should have really saved because of how many blue members are actually around her. Superman looking like he's about to set up some plays. Annette getting a little caught out here, and it could be the end for her, but they actually initiate onto Liliana in the mid. Oh, Tolana's taking a great spear to the face. Thane coming in, dropping the hammer, but actually she's still alive. But here comes Richter to finish it off. We have more damage coming out. Richter tries to flicker away and actually lives! Are you kidding me? And then Liliana is taken out in the process. Wow.
That was actually a really unfortunate because Snow came in with a hurricane wall that actually helped the opposing team, because right as the red side was going to re-engage onto them, she helped push them away to safety, and then that allowed them to get re-engaged upon, and that was just the end for them for veniVidivi's side.
Yeah, so such a unfortunate set of events that I just don't know if Red has what it takes to get back. They really need to get some kind of kill or some kind of objective to get back into this game. But at this point, I think that they need to just group as 5 and maybe hope that they can catch one of these blue members overextending.
Yeah, it's just so hard to come back from this particular situation because, you know, what can you do? You're losing out on farm. You're down like 8,500 gold here. veniVidivici just has the entire map to work with, so if you're red side, you need to wait for about 5 to 10 more minutes in order to try to come back in these the gold. But yeah, that's a great pick onto Slims there. Good job. In comes Jordan trying to get the kill on, but misses the dash onto Benny, unfortunately. Just Superman can be hard to hit those. But
yeah,
isn't able to finish it off.
I think the red team really needs to maybe just back off just a minute until the Omen gets in, and then that's going to make it a 5v4 situation. And if they can save this Tolanis and not let her overextend and get caught out, I think that's going to be huge. They see the dragon. They definitely want to initiate onto this, but you can see that this blue team knows that it's up and is starting to watch it. Liliana jumping in, but is able to get out of that situation. And you can see Tolanis, and you see the Superman just eyeing that Tolanis, waiting for any kind of opportunity. And now look at this, Richter coming in, jumping onto that Liliana, throwing out the damage, and she's going to go down. And it looks like Tolanis is going to be the next target.
Yeah, I only caught the end of that. Looks like the red team just really split up here. They're trying to go for the abyssal. Oh, that was happening, and as I say that, pushed back by Superman, they all get completely demolished, and that is the collapse, and that is likely game.
That is going to be the game for sure. That Superman just coming in was just waiting for the right opportunity and finally found it. Was able to completely lock down the team enough to to put a nail in the coffin as far as this team winning victory. But a great last stand, I gotta say. Such a great last stand.
Yeah, they were able to, try to climb their way back into it. It doesn't look great on the score screen, but
For how
they
for how far down they were and how great that last team fight went, I gotta say they definitely were. We're finally starting to get the gears we're turning. I gotta say I just feel like the Omen pick just really didn't get to shine at all. 6% of the damage. I mean, he just really wasn't a factor. I think that was maybe the if they maybe had someone else, maybe like you were saying earlier, someone a little bit more tanky, I think it would have been a different game.
Yeah, there were just a lot of issues with the draft in general because Richter is just going to beat anyone. So you'd rather have someone. You can't really capitalize on a Richter in lane because he's just going to clear it so quickly and damage you in the process. So even someone like Owen, it's a bit of a waste of a first pick. Realize you're going to lose the Richter regardless, and then focus on something else. And along with that, we had the issue of not having that front